Hey basketball coaches, today I'm going to give you some simple 4-out basketball plays that you can run with most basketball teams. These are super simple and I hope that you enjoy. Really quickly, if your players or yourself would like to support this channel and purchase some merch like being the next Steph Curry, go check out the links below or that shelf below the video. Anyways, let's get down to the video. Let's check these out. Okay, so first the 4-out is when you've got 4 players on the outside of the perimeter. You've got 1 player on the inside. Now you could have these players a bit wider. It's up to you. It doesn't necessarily matter in this first play, but the rest of the plays you should probably have it a bit wider. Now, in this play, what we're going to have is player 1 passing over to player 3. Player 5 is going to pop up and set a back screen on player 1. Player 1 is then going to go and attack the rim and cut towards the rim. If he's open, player 3 can pass him the ball for that layup. What's going to happen here is if he's not open, player 5 is going to pop out, and we're going to have player 4 set a back screen on player 4, and then player 4 is going to be going into that low post. Now player 3 has 2 different options. He can pass to player 4 for a layup, or he can pass to player 5 to swing the ball back around towards this side. So if neither of those players are open, player 1 is going to move over. One of 2 things can happen. If player 2 is open, he can be passed to. If he is not open, player 2 can set that screen on player 5. Doesn't really matter. And at that point, we're going to have player 5 pass over to player 1. Player 4 is going to set that back screen on player 5, and he's going to cut towards the rim. Again, if he's open, hit him up for a layup. If he's not open, same thing is going to happen. We're going to have player 4 pop out, and player 3 using that screen going into that low post. Player 1 will have 2 options, player 3 for a layup or player 4 for a 3-point shot. And you can loop this play as many times as you want, or until you score, or until your shot clock runs out. Now, if you're running up against a 2-3 zone defense, you're going to want a play that is going to really attack the gaps. So what we're going to do here is have player 3 cut across into the high post, and when he's cutting across, I really want player 1 to pass to player 3, especially if he can. What's going to happen here, especially if your team is really spread out, of course player 3 may have a mid-range shot. That is an option that could be there. However, what I'm really looking forward to is either player 5 or 4 moving up to defend player 3, because this is a very deadly spot against a 2-3 zone. Even against the 3-2 zone, it's extremely deadly, and if that's the case, player 3 has 2 decisions to make. He can pass to player 5 for the layup, or he can pass out to player 4 for a 3-point shot. Another option that could be there is if player 4 doesn't go and cover player 3, but player 5 does, but player 4 sags down, what I would really like to see is player 5 set a back screen on player 4, and player 4 blue may be open for a bounce pass or an alley-oop down low. That is another option. It's a little bit more riskier, but if you're coaching a team that can jump quite high, maybe at the senior high school level, this second option here may be a great option. Now against the 3-2 zone, so 3-2 zone would be like this, but with the way the players are playing, this is how it would look. What I would like to see happen is player 1 passes over to player 4, and I would want to have player 1 go and cut down towards this low corner, almost like a triangle offense. We want to be really super wide close to the sideline. Of course, if player 1's open, he can take that shot. However, what's going to most likely happen is player 2 is going to be popping out, player 1 is going to be really covering that side, and player 3 is going to be covering that high post. At this point, I would like to see player 3 cut across. We're going to get that ball towards that high post. He could take that shot. He could also pass out to player 1. If player 4 pops up, we can pass down to player 5. Or if player 3 makes a mistake, and what happens here with a mistake is player 3 goes and leaves his zone to guard player 3 blue, we can kick the ball out to player 2 for a 3-point shot. But what happens here? We can have player 1 cut baseline, because if player 5 comes up just to recover because these guys made a massive mistake, we now have an extra pass to player 1 for an open 3-point shot or a cut towards the basket. This has to be a super quick play, but it is, again, super simple to run. Now this last play is going to be able to make the other team totally confused, mind-boggled. I call this a 4-man weave. You can call this a weave offense anyways, either way, but it's not necessarily a total weave basketball play. Let's get down to the clipboard. Let's check out this next play. So if you're going up against a man-to-man defense, we're going to have a dribble handoff up top with player 2. Player 2 is going to get that ball, and this is again against a man-to-man defense. Player 2 has the decision to drive or to pop for a shot, or what he can do is do another dribble handoff with player 4. Now what's going to happen here is player 1, he's going to set a screen for player 3. Player 4 and 3 are going to come together, but again, player 4 could take the shot or drive. It's up to him. Now at this point in time, we're going to have player 3 doing that dribble handoff with player 4, and again, we're going to have player 3 with the option to shoot or drive, and this is going to continue. So now player 4 is setting a screen away for player 1, and player 3 is going to do a dribble handoff with player 2. Player 1 and 2 are going to meet up top again, and it just keeps on cycling through. Now, I hope that these super simple 4-out basketball plays can help your team win more games. If it does, hit that like button and subscribe, and I will see you guys again in our next video. Go check out my Unbeatable basketball defense book in the link in the description below.